Lambo, you threw out Broncos versus Dolphins in a playoff game, and I think a lot of people after that 70-point win from Miami kind of wrote the Broncos off, but here we are, going into December, and they've won 5 straight games. They're 6-5. They look great. How the hell did that happen? Is Sean Payton kind of that great of a coach and also just roster manager, like you kind of mentioned, that teams need? And how come is that the blueprint for a Carolina? They need to go get a guy that's going to be able to rally the entire building?
I think they do, and they had a chance to get Sean. They didn't take him last year for some reason. Look,
they hired Frank over Sean Payton? I didn't know that.
They interviewed Sean. They didn't, and I think they went the other direction. Maybe Sean wanted too much authority. Coaches want the ability to build their culture. It's not so much you're not power hungry, you're culture hungry. I think what Sean did is very Parcellian. You got to remember, Sean Payton was a young coach at the New York Football Giants, the offense coordinator. Jim Fossil was the head coach, and he got demoted as the play caller. And Parcells watched this from afar in New Jersey, and he was so impressed with how Payton handled his demotion and behaved and worked that when he became the head coach of the Cowboys the next year, he called Payton out of the blue and hired him. And that relationship goes on today. And that relationship is very reflective in this team. And I give all the credit to Sean, but you can see Parcells' influence in this team. Sean, after the game that he lost at home to the Jets, basically said, look, we're gonna button this thing down. We were throwing the ball 31 times. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to manage Russell. We're only going to throw at the average about 26 throws a game now. We're going to run the football. We're not turning this thing over. We're going to slow the game down. And, oh, by the way, we've averaged, we're going to kick field goals. We're not going to go for it. We're going to take the points that come to us. Of the 110 points they've scored in this win streak, 48 have come from field goals. He don't pass down the points. He's going to take them. Now, I'm not suggesting that he's good. He's old school. He's won games because of it. And I think that's what he's done. I think every coach in the league has to see his team after 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and say, this is how we have to play to win. This is our only chance to play. If we play this way, we will win. Tomlin does that. Peyton does that. I mean, Belichick's trying to do that. The problem is quarterback keeps turning the ball over.
Yep.
And so you have to figure that out. That's the message. That's where when Aaron went out, I have a problem with the Jets because they didn't figure out how they have to play to win. Everybody says, well, nobody can run Aaron Rodgers' offense, only Aaron Rodgers. It's like this week in Cincinnati. Cincinnati goes and plays Pittsburgh, and they run it 11 times. I mean, Joe, you can't ask.
What was the stat? Tony Pike, former Cincinnati quarterback. I think he said Zach Taylor's 428-1 without Joe Burrow as quarterback.
Damn.
Well, you can't throw it. The Bengals are 31st in rushing attempts. They're like 7th in pass. You can't put that game on Browning. He can't be Joe Burrow. So what you have to do as a head coach, you got to build your team so that if you lose a player, you can play right or left-handed. They don't. They can't run the ball. I don't fault them for calling pass plays because they can't run block. So that's where I think Sean's gained such an advantage.
It is. Whenever we all watch the Jets, we always wonder because if you look at Hackett's record, you look at Hackett's record, you look at Zach Taylor's record, you look at, I think, Bill's record post Tom Brady, you look at a lot of these things, and you alluded to it earlier, it's like, yeah, you could be a good coach, and if your quarterback is just abysmal, you got no shot.
Done.
You got no shot. They need to try Drew Plitt over there in Cincinnati.
He can spin it.
He can spin it. That kid out of Ball State can really spin that thing.
One more thing with the Broncos, too. Obviously, everybody remembers the 70-point embarrassing moment with the Dolphins, but in the last 5 games, 16 turnovers on defense.
Wow, they're back.
Plus 13 in turnover margin in the league, so that's obviously helps when it comes to winning games.
And they've only turned it over, DB, and that's part of coaching, right? And he's not passing up the points, right? He's not sitting there, listen, I'm going to go for it. What's the number say on the TV? What should I do? No, kick it. Kick it.
Hey, the ESPN analytics.
When he kicks it, you know what happens when he kicks it? How many boos did you hear when he kicked it against Minnesota early in the game? Everybody booed. Everybody said, oh, that's a stupid decision. Go for it. How many points did he win by? 1?
Hey, ESPN
It always
Analytics.
comes back.
Hey, you were so pumped about it. You put a tweet out. Does ESPN Analytics ever say not to go for it? I think it was.
They never say not go for it. I'm sure they probably would have, in anything, go for it. Why not?
I love
it's
it.
Madden. Everybody's playing Madden. You have to watch the game to apply the analytics. Right, you got to watch the game. It's the game. It isn't just the numbers for.
What if ESPN Analytics is actually some dude or lady who's like, she is taken into feel.
Yeah.
Go.
Gotta
for it,
go
go.
for it.
And they put it right up on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, this coach is soft. He's punting the ball right now. What a loser. They're on their own 20. I think it was 4th and 1. They were up 10-zip. The other team had not done anything. They were on their own 20 or something like that. And it said go. And it was like, what? Their offense has done nothing. You're putting them literally in field goal range here if you give them the ball. And the
What happened last night? Kevin O'Connell went for it on 4th down. He put him in field goal range. And now what did he lose by? He lost by 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, he went for it on 4th down with Joshua Dobbs. Like, you're playing Justin Fields. Play field position. Punt the ball.
Let's talk about it. Yes, more of that.